Well, you've heard me say this before, Mike.
Yeah.
I think being a comedian would be a really tough job to excel at, right?
Yeah. You probably wouldn't excel. But our next guest is doing just that. She's originally from Nebraska. She's killing it on the stand-up scene.
Now, let's just bring this up. He is bringing that up because I just made an old man joke toward him. So now he's all sensitive and he's bitter.
Aubree Sweeney's here. Good to see you, Aubree.
Hi,
You
thanks so much
witnessed
for having
I'm
me.
not bitter. No, I'm not
Yeah,
bitter.
you are, because I
pretty
said you
mean.
were old again.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks.
So you're from Omaha.
I am, yes. Yep, originally
And
from
you are a comedian, and right now you're kind of bouncing back and forth between Omaha and LA.
Yeah.
Can you share with our viewers what inspired you to get into comedy?
Well, you know, it's kind of a weird story. I moved out to Los Angeles specifically to get my master's in screenwriting.
Yeah.
And it was just this crazy thing happened. I graduated and Disney wasn't beating down my door to buy my thesis project. I mean, what?
Like, what?
What? So yeah, I didn't really know quite what to do. So I went to Upright Citizens Brigade, learned to improv, I took some sketch courses there. And I had an instructor basically encourage me to, he said, you know, your monologues are very funny. Why don't you try an open mic? Went to a few open mics, bombed horribly, and loved it. And just kind of found a home in that. And
UCB is a great way to
have
start.
gone back.
Yeah, that plug
UCB
thing.
is
We
great.
talk to a lot of comics on Funny Bone Fridays,
Yeah.
and they always say, I mean, you never hear somebody say, I always want to be a comic. It just, there's always something that kind of draws them to, there's an event that happens, or maybe they took a career turn, you kind of get sucked into the comic world. So now you're doing stand-up. Do you like stand-up, performing live?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great fit for me. I wish I would have got bit by the bug sooner, if anything. But yeah, I love it. It's great. And it's nice being in Omaha. You mentioned the Funny Bone. Also, Backline is amazing in downtown Omaha. Like that it's great. It's a great place. It's such a creative space. And now the Ralston Arena Side Room is doing a bunch of cool stuff and bringing in stand-up comedians.
And we'll get to that in just a second, but I do want to ask, you know, Nebraska, we're obviously a smaller state, and so starting in comedy here, I mean, was that more difficult for you, or is it harder coming from a state like this to make a name for yourself?
When you're telling people in LA you're from Omaha, or you're from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where she's from, she spent some time in LA, what's the reaction that you get from people out there?
You know, people live there? Like,
Where's that at?
Running water?
Yeah.
No, actually, I think that California, LA specifically, is just such a, I mean, it's a melting pot. There's so many people from so many places. I mean, I just was back in California a couple months ago, and we had a Husker Hilarity show, and it was basically all Nebraskans from, so I mean, it's just fun. There's a lot of us hanging out there. You know, it takes a little bit to find all the Nebraskans, but we find a way.
You do.
Yeah, we like become a little clique.
Now you're actually filming an hour special, right?
I am, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely, I'd love to. I am going to do that locally. There's this amazing theater in Manly, Nebraska. It's called The Loft. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Great, like they have amazing stage productions. It's just it's a barn, it's humble beginnings. It's the type of place that's just great to be part of. So in August 11th, so we've got some time still, but I'll be filming my hour special there.
Okay, let's get to your show. You got a couple opportunities in Omaha to see you. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the Backline with Brandon Cordes on the 27th at 7 p.m. That's a $5 show. Super fun. We're each going to, it's a fun show. We're each going to be doing 30 minutes at that one. And on the 1st of February, Cameron Logston and I are going to be at the Ralston Arena. That's a super, super exciting show at the Side Room. So that's new. That's a new venue. Hope people come out and check it out.
Well, and for that show, you brought a ticket giveaway, didn't you? Do you have some tickets to give away?
Well, let's talk about it. Do we have a ticket giveaway? If there's a ticket, Chris, they got a ticket giveaway? There's no
I thought
ticket
we
giveaway.
saw that. There was a ticket giveaway.
What she meant to say is Kelly's purchasing tickets.
I'm purchasing tickets for everybody.
And then she's going to be giving these tickets out to the people. So just shoot Kelly a message on Facebook.
Yeah, just shoot me. That's me. I'm your girl. I'm your girl.
Aubree, thanks for coming in. Welcome back to Omaha.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks
She's
for
an
having
Omaha
me.
Burt graduate. I know people like it when people come back. Where do they go to high school?
Yep.
Omaha Burt.
Yep, that's me.
Good to see you,
All
Aubree.
right,
Thanks for
thanks so
coming
much.
in.